Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk a little bit about health today, and this is another theme that I have probably made videos on, but I like some of the good themes. I like to pound them over and over and over. I was having a conversation on Messenger a little while ago, and it's like one of my friends, I never know if she's watching when I talk about her. She'll know who she is, but nobody else does. I don't mention people, but we were talking about various things, and we talk about health. As I said, I've mentioned this person before, very rational person, somebody I can have a rational conversation with. And we were talking about health and the whole raw vegan thing, and this person has also done very high, has done fully raw vegan, has done high carb cooked vegan. And it was just an interesting conversation, and sometimes I enjoy having some of my thoughts confirmed, or that other people think the same way. Just to know that I don't know, it's not like I need confirmation, I do my own thing, but, I just like to know that I'm not like totally whacked out and on my own page. But anyhow, and what we were talking about here, and what a couple of the points she brought up, a couple of the points I brought up, was just about how this whole raw thing, a lot of times is adverse. The mentality of that is adverse to to a person's health. As I've said over and over since I started doing this channel, that this is always about health for me. This is not trying to be a good raw vegan. This is not about trying to recruit people to raw veganism. This is not about trying to show people the raw vegan way. I'm interested in health, plain and simple, health, and wherever that journey takes me. Now, once again, like I always say, I'm not preaching against the raw. I'm just saying that don't make stupid choices. I post a lot of stuff in groups, and sometimes it's kind of cryptic what I post, and I post about like raw veganism, high carb veganism, and how it relates to emotional balance. Because I see a lot of emotional imbalance in this world, and some of the preachers, some of the hardest people that will argue, that they'll jump into every thread and conversation, preaching the wrong message, raw is law, must be raw all the time, not a bite of cooked food. They make poor decisions. They make poor decisions just to stay raw. Now, once again, I'm damn near fully raw when I'm in Costa Rica. I'm probably fully raw, but I'm not going to say fully raw because, I have the occasion. Well, I really haven't had any nuts this trip, since I've been back, but, I'm sure, I don't know if the cacao I'm using, is 100% raw, so mostly raw. So I do believe in raw, but I can do raw, and I'm able to do raw here without any problems. So I have to, think and see what other people are doing and think of, okay, what if I had that particular problem? And I can tell you what, I'm not going to make a poor raw choice just to avoid eating cooked food. Like that makes no sense to me. Like we were talking about fat levels here, and how we were talking about just different things, different approaches where people, whether they're healing their body or whatever they're doing, trying to lose weight, lower fat versus higher fat. And it was like some people will just eat a meal that's off the fat index to keep from eating cooked food. Now, I don't know, and somebody can drag out, there's statistics and there's stuff to back up everything. I could probably find statistics, and I could probably find something on the vast internet that would back up putting out a cigarette on baby's forehead. But we all know with common sense that ain't something that anybody should be doing. You know what I'm saying? So, just because somebody can talk a good game and they can back up stuff with this guy that wrote a paper. Hell, there's a paper backing up everything out there. There's a paper backing up that there's flat earth. There's flat earth people out there. And I don't want to, God almighty, I don't want to get into any of that science fiction stuff. But you see what I'm saying? Like anything can be verified if you look deep enough on the internet. So, kind of got off there. The old man does that every once in a while. You just have to put up with that. I'm an older fella. But it makes absolutely zero sense that somebody's going to make a poor food choice just so they can stay raw. Does that make any logical sense to you as you're hearing that? Here's a choice over here that's cooked, but it's healthy. Here's a choice over here that's pretty abysmal, but it's raw. But there's people that are going to choose that abysmal raw over the healthy cooked because they're in that little cult thing, the cult of raw food. Now see, I'm a raw foodist, I'm a raw vegan, but I refuse to join the cult. I mean, maybe I'm just a little too old and a little too damn smart to join a cult. I'm not a joiner. I'm a skeptic. I look for the truth. I'm seeking the truth, you know, with like sometimes world events. I have smart people who I talk to, and I was having a conversation on certain world events a couple of nights ago, and we had slightly differing views, but he was very willing to listen and read the things that I sent to him from my perspective, and I was willing to do likewise, because we're both the kind of people, now this had nothing to do with health, but we're both the kind of people that are seeking truth. We don't have conclusions. That's like a faulty science experiment where you start with a conclusion and you try to start looking for proof to prove that conclusion. I want to run the experiment and let the results fall where they may, and I want to evaluate those results as honestly as possible. So, you know, this whole raw before anything else, it's hurting a lot of people, and it's actually throwing a lot of people off their game. And if you didn't have so much that raw is law mentality, or raw kind of as a freaking club, you know, you might actually have an easier path to getting to that raw. I'll say this over and over again. I don't know if that one's ever picked up sometime. I've mentioned it in videos. I've never mentioned it as a big focal point, but you know, if you are not going through the process, most people need to go through that process. If you try to get to that fully raw thing too quickly, you're going to sabotage yourself, and you're probably going to sabotage yourself from getting comfortable on that fully raw thing, more so than you would have if you'd have just not been so hardcore. Like if you'd have been a little bit more chill about riding the cooked food for a longer period of time until your body kind of stabilized and you were ready for a raw food, fully raw lifestyle. Now, like I say, we go back and forth. Some people are not shooting to get to a fully raw lifestyle, and hey, I totally respect that. That's totally cool. I'm just really talking to the people out, and hey, there's a lot of you that watch me out there, and you're not even doing it. You people, some of you aren't even doing YouTube channels. But I'm going to give you a compliment. There's some of you that are out there watching me that ain't doing YouTube channels or whatever, and I keep up with you, and you're thriving. So don't let me throw you off your game. Listen, don't ever misunderstand my message. Once again, if you're thriving and healthy on a fully raw lifestyle, damn it, you stick to that. You stick to that, because hey, that's what you know. I feel my best the more raw I am. I do eat cooked foods for convenience and for different reasons sometimes, but yes, I work best when I'm down here and I'm eating fully raw. So let me tell you that. If you're eating fully raw and you're thriving and you're emotionally balanced, think about that one too. If you're emotionally balanced, you're not flipping out online all the time, blah, 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 weepy one day, this the next, I'm going to do this fast and this thing, blah, 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 all over the map. If you're emotionally balanced and you're healthy, don't eat cooked food. That would be ridiculous. It's working for you. But if you're constantly going back and forth, if you're never balanced, mood swings, all this stuff, you're not ready for it. I'm sorry. I'm just going to look you straight in the eye in the camera and say you're not ready to try to be fully raw vegan. So focus on your health first. It's all about the health. Nothing else really matters. I'm sorry. And you know what? Don't listen to me about that. Listen to your body. Do this work. You know, if you have to experiment, even like drastically experiment. If you don't know something for sure, you know, but don't get so. Ooh, I'm really getting tongue-tied here. I'm not tying this one up. I want to bring it all unified and bring it all together, but I'm not that much of a wordsmith. But yeah, just don't put your health behind being raw vegan. And don't ever close your mind to learning more stuff. Anyhow, I started rambling pretty early in the week. That's not a good sign when I start rambling so much on Tuesday, but hopefully there's a little bit. I think there's some good information in there around my rambling. But anyhow, hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel and have a beautiful week. Peace.